dude. Hello, John. What happened to Hogue Outdoors? Wasn't that your old YouTube handle? Excuse me if I blasted your ears. Theo, what's the pulse of Whatnot? What's the hello AJ, how was the bar crawl with the family, Christmas bar crawl? Still is. What the, I don't know what's going on, dude. Everybody's names change. I don't like that. I'm a creature of habit. Bunch of crap today. Is the key to Whatnot what some people do is where they get on there and then they just buy everything? Is that the way you find a deal? Is that the way you find deals? Guy running has a pretty sweet rubble wall. Speaking of, I found these today. So the one I sent the Messiah, I believe to be, I don't think it was this small. I think it was bigger. I can't remember. I think it was smaller than this. I can't be for certain. I think it was a little bit bigger than this. Hello, man. What's new in the North Country? Whatnot started calling my phone to get me to sell. You know what's weird about that? Is they actually started calling me. I did the little orientation. You do the class to sell. I talked to the guy on the phone. I forgot his name, but he wanted me, like, they were trying to get the fishing sporting good outdoor stuff, fishing lures and such. They were trying to get it ramped up. This was probably a couple of years ago, and he was in charge of, I guess, I don't remember what his position was, but he's a nice enough guy. But I don't mind Whatnot. The problem is I like to buy a bunch of stuff kind of fast. Patience is the key. Yes, I don't like sitting. Like, what typically happens to me and Whatnot is I'll get on there and I'll see, like, in the first like 2 items something I want. I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy that and then sit here for another hour waiting on something good that might not show up. And then I end up paying $10 for something that's worth $2 after I pay shipping and all the other bullshit. So if you can sit there and get a bunch of stuff to where it makes sense for the shipping, it works. But like, I do enjoy watching people sell stuff. Like the Ryan sent me a girl last night, and or a lady, I might say, and she just had these like bins of shit, and she would pan around, and she was like, "If you see something you want, just tell me what it is." And there was this dipshit on there, and it was a I don't know if I have the spook. I don't think I do. It's the spook color that's got the chartreuse back and like the blue cheek, and it's kind of transparent. and he kept saying greenback clear sides, and she was looking for something that was actually green, like green, like green. And she was like, this one, this one, this one. And he's like, no, the greenback one. No, you fuckhead. It's like, tell her neon yellow, tell her chartreuse, tell her bright yellow, tell her neon, like something. And but that was frustrating. So that auction was taking forever because he kept trying to describe the baits that he wanted and was just terrible at it. Hello, Tom. Thank you. We did. Hope you and your fam did too. I didn't get to talk to anybody because it was a damn loony bin at my house. We left, went to Baton Rouge a couple days before Christmas, came home day before Christmas Eve, ran around getting stuff and trying to get ready for Christmas, and it was a madhouse. I was also trying to get stuff shipped out. Ugh. But it was we made it. So happy belated Christmas. Merry belated Christmas to everyone. What did we do in Baton Rouge? We visited Amy's sister and her family, and we went to Henderson to the Cajun swamp tour, which was awesome. Highly recommend if you're anywhere near the Atchafalaya Basin, go down and see. It's at McGee's swamp tours. They do the Christmas swamp tours, and they have I guess they call it, what do they call him? Pere Noel. It's supposed to be Papa Noel, but he's like the Cajun version. And you go out on the swamp boat, and they read you the Cajun night. He reads the Cajun Night Before Christmas, and they have a little baby alligator they walk around and let the kids pet. Give the kids candy canes and cookies, and yeah, it's pretty fun. Pretty fun. So, Kyle, I did see. That's why I asked the Cajun Santa. He said he liked. He asked the group. He said, "Does anybody know what Papa Noel's favorite fish to eat is?" And one little kid said, "Catfish." And he said, "No." I told the bean. I was like, "Say sacalé." And she was like, "What?" I said, say sacalé. And she was like, "What is that?" I was like, "Say crappie." And she's like, "No." And he said, "Nobody knows." I was like, "Bean, raise your hand." And she's like, "Uh-uh." And he said, "Sacalé." So it was fun. Yeah, it's about 80 here today. It's damn smoking. But I asked Santa Claus, and we were taking a picture with him, Cajun Santa. I said, "Santa, you got livestock on your sleigh?" And he's like, "On your fishing sleigh?" And he's like, "No, I just." He said, "I got a depth finder." And I was like, "Okay, just seeing what you were. I didn't know if you were scoping them down here in the bayou." And he said, "No." So I asked him how far he had to go to catch crappie. He said he had to go north of the bridge in a couple spots. He was pretty tight-lipped, actually. Santa didn't want to share any juice. I guess he never knows where anybody's from, which I don't have much of an accent, but yeah, Santa wouldn't come off the goods on the crappie holes. I tried to get him out of him, but he wasn't coming off anything. High 60s, cloudy, seems perfect. I've thrown everything but the sink. Can't we get a bite on the chatterbait? I will say they are the Cajun clauses down there. They are best stop people. They don't dick around with Dons. They like best stop. They even told us in the damn in the story. I think they added best stop in there, or one of the Christmas songs. They had a Christmas song they sang. It was like one of the regular Christmas songs. Like I don't remember what it was, but they added best stop in there. So it's good. 74 here across the river from St. Louis. Damn, everybody's got a heat wave. We're about to get nuked though on tonight or tomorrow night. It's supposed to be like 27 down here. They don't like to tell, but they sure do like to whole buzzer you as soon as they see you catching a sakale. Which one of you sent above freezing temperatures and rain to ruin my ice fishing? It was not me, Frank. It was not me. But yeah, we did that. Saw some lights, and Bebe's birthday is after Christmas, so then we had to do birthday stuff yesterday, and then we did all kinds of stuff. It's 15 and blowing 30. Gross. Gonna be 0 tomorrow. Ugh. I guess that whole front's like making its way across everywhere because we're getting it too. Except ours ain't going to be 0. It's just we're going to get down to the 20s. What else did we do interesting? We went to Bellingraph Gardens last night. Went to the big lights thing where you walk through Bellingraph Gardens and see the lights. That was fun. Went and had a nice meal. Yeah, that's about it. Nothing too special. Fishing is going to be fire on the Sabine tomorrow. Take me with you, bro. I want to go. I gotta go. I got the itch. It's getting bad. It's getting real bad. 56 in the paint room, dude. 56 in the paint room. I bet that shit's spraying luscious. Like silk. I forget how great paint sprays when it's cold. You get a 60-degree paint room, it is like just liquid nectar. Everything does perfect. Jerk bait. Long pauses or no? Bad thing, but good thing about kids, family, friends, birthday being day or two. You get a lot of 50% off items to get to. Yeah. There's lots of sales going on. So you get the runs and the matte clear, man. So how did you resolve that? Did you sand the runoff and then polish it to like a satin? Or what did you do? No. And anybody that doesn't know why a run in flat clear isn't good, because in gloss clear, you can sand it down and then polish the scratches back to where they are glossy to match the sheen of the gloss. Well, on a matte bait, if you sand it down, you can't polish it out. Like if you try to cover your scratches up, with like a finer grit sandpaper, it's just going to get glossier. So you're kind of screwed because you can't fix that spot. I guess you could sand it and then go over the whole thing with something to make it look kind of, I don't know. I've never attempted to sand matte clear. AJ, come on, bro. You know he would be looking at that thing under a damn microscope. Kicking off the winter show next weekend. Where is it? I'm going to be heading up to Josh's house in a couple weeks, and we're going to work on some things. That'll be fun. I'm working on a couple things. So what you're telling me, AJ, is you sent it down the damn road. Collinsville, Illinois. Is that near to you? Send it to me. I will find something. You know, I was listening to some guy talk about, he's a musician. It's like a session guitar player in Nashville. And I was listening to him, an interview with him, and he said they were like, asking him about what he plays like that he likes the most, and he's like, I don't like anything I play. And he's like, I feel like, he's like, most of the artists, whether you're a musician or anything, don't like the majority of what they do. And he said, because you listen to it or you see it and you always look at stuff you would change and how you could make it better and all that. And he's like, so 95% of the stuff that I do and I've recorded, it's okay and it fits and it works, but I'm never happy with it. I was thinking to myself, glad to know that, because I feel exactly the same way. Every time I do something, I look at it. 95% of the stuff I do, I don't like. And but then there's that one. That's usually like the little small percentage of stuff that like I might keep one or something for myself. But yeah, you just kind of gotta push through. Let's see your crawler baits or any fun topwater baits frozen up here in Wisconsin. Crawlers. I don't have any crawlers. I don't like the idea of crawlers. I think I have a pompadour somewhere. And I think the reason I don't like crawlers is because when I was painting for Steven Russell, aka Bama Bass, now he's the pond guru. But he used to send me those pompadours by the hundreds to paint, and I would have to take the wings and the little spinner and the tail hook, and I would have to disassemble those things. And I did that so much. Like I did so many of those that after that, I never wanted to see another crawler as long as I lived, because it was so sketchy having to do it, especially to reassemble them with fresh paint on them, because you had to screw them in, and then you had to like bend the little hook eyes out on the side of the bait, and then you had to clamp them back down to get the wings to sit in there. Ugh, gross. I do have a pic on the bottom of my website of all those damn things lined up. Ugh, those things are a nightmare. They were a nightmare. Let's look it up. Let's see. Tacklecraft.com. Big wake. Yep, there they are. That's a cool picture, though. You say big weight cramps? Big? Hmm. I don't have anything too big that's like a waking crank. Probably got a. Oh, there's one. There's a prototype. There's a proto. Steve, when you like to throw the big waking cranks? Post spawn? I did. I still have one. I still have one I didn't put up. The mistake redhead with silver and gold copper scales. Yeah, it was pretty exciting. Yeah, I remember. I remember seeing those dudes fight over the damn King Shads. Wasn't that another bait? Like, wasn't that a didn't another company have that, and then Strike King bought it from them? Steve, what part of the world you're in? Wisconsin? And the grass gets nice and lush. Get on the edge. I don't know what's the is there any new sleeper East Texas baits? Fish Lab? No. BBC before they even Fish Lab new. Talking like way before, like before you were born, probably, bro. Was it Strike Pro? I thought it was like a uh, I thought it was what was that brand? I don't think it was Strike Pro. It was like a what was the name of that? I thought it was like a. It started with an A, maybe. Uh, Fish Lab. You're making us feel old. BBC says, remember that vintage company from a long time ago, Fish Lab? Oh, the Quickie? What the hell is that? What's the Quickie? Oh, this stupid ass spider thing. Have you tried that on the uh Have you tried that on the Sabine yet? Like around the shrimp eaters, Tyler? No, it wasn't Lucky Strike. It was ABT Lures. That's it. ABT Lures. Alan Borden of ABT Lures in California made the wake shed. I knew it was an A. I knew I wasn't going nuts. Thank you. Thank you, Kyle. No, excuse me, KWD 1253. Are you new? If you are, you win the prize pack for new guests. Tell us where you're from, who you are. I see BBC. Who does not see BBC's comments? Can anybody not see BBC's comments? Or is it just AJ? BBC, do you have AJ blocked? Why do you have a question mark by your name? Oh, is that a question? Is that a new thing? Oh, it does. They signify if you have a question. No one is? Nobody can see BBC. Do I have you like blocked or something, BBC? Can y'all see this? Hey, where'd it go? Look, he's here. People. I'm the host. Private chat. No. Comments. Put user in timeout. Ban user and delete their comments. No. Weird, I switched from top to all comments. I see them now. Oh. That's weird. Why is YouTube dicking around with everything? Why can't they just leave it alone? I'm Russia. I get paid to troll smallmouth crush. All right. So if you want to see what BBC says, just go to show all comments, not just top. YouTube does not value BBC comments. No, you got to get back in the good graces. BBC, what have you been saying on other streams? Have you been on your grandfather's stream talking naughty? I'm switching back to just stop. That's funny. That is funny. Where is that KWD guy the new guy? The new guy. I did watch a little bit of fishing this morning. I watched that Strike King Lou's show with Hackney, where he was fishing on Santee Cooper, I think, in PFL. It's pretty good. I didn't finish it. I watched about 15 minutes of it, and I enjoyed it. What I saw. The one that Tyler dude was doing, that one gave me a headache. It jumped around too much. It's like too many cutscenes. It's like 90% B-roll. It bothered me. I feel like he either changed his ways or they got somebody else to film these. Watch the Atchafalaya one. Is it a tournament or is he just dicking around? Oh, I knew there was something I was going to tell y'all. And Greg Hackney reminded me of it. So many moons ago, I think it was the tournament. It was one of the classics at the Louisiana Delta. And it was like, I don't know if it was live or whatever. But they were on Hackney's boat and like practicing or something. It was I don't know who posted the video or where it came from, but he was either practicing or it was like the day of the tournament or something. And they showed his deck, and he had a custom painted man's baby 1-, and it was like red crawl looking something. And I was like, damn, that thing's sexy. And I started thinking about it. I was like, man, I'd really like to have one of those. And this was back when I was painting with Createx and epoxy. So I dug one out. And I said, I'm gonna paint myself one of those because I could do some damage on a red one. And Hackney boosted my confidence in the 1-. I was like, man, if he's throwing this thing in the classic, then yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna crush them too. So I go down there in the little dungeon and paint me up a red 1-, and I get all excited about it. And I had to wait a little while to fish it because like it wasn't time yet. And it's ready. Strap some hooks on it. Finally, the time comes, like early in the year. Grass is super short. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna smash them on this damn thing. So I tie it on and go fishing. And I pick it up, and like everything has set up to this like moment for me in the Hackney 1-. I'm stoked. So I get it out and I throw it. I'm like, man, this thing runs like shit. So it's like, it's not even wobbling. It's just like flopping around. I'm like, man, what the fuck? So I'm like reeling it and looking at it, and I stop it, and it like sinks to the bottom like a rock. I'm like, fuck, dude. So I'm like, well, maybe my hooks are too heavy. So I take the hooks off and put like little bitty hooks on it to see if it'll float more. No, it still sinks like a rock. So I looked at the epoxy on it, and I was like, this epoxy isn't too, it was not too heavy that it would like sink this bait this fast. And so I had spent way too long painting that crawfish on that damn 1-, and I should have tested it before I ever painted it. But I didn't know they were such big pieces of shit, or I wouldn't have painted it to begin with. I didn't know I had to test it first, but yeah. So I think that is the genesis of the hate. That's where the fire started burning brighter. The 1-, I believe BBC is a killer bait. The problem is every time I pick one up, it's a piece of shit, dude. Like it doesn't swim right. It sinks. It's always got some sort of like I shouldn't have to go through 100 of those damn things to find one that actually does okay. So no, I'm not gonna. I'll probably die happy not catching a fish on a 1-. Screw those things. But anyway, 2026 Taco Craft's coming out with a 1-. There you go. Kidding. So Fish Lab did it. Let's look it up. What do they call it? You can have a 1- fish off. Those fish up there would probably eat it. Fish Lab? I guess, do they call it like a wake bait? Fish Lab, BioShad. They would, and they do. Fish Lab. I just want like crankbait. Let me see this thing. I haven't seen anything similar. Fish Lab. All I see is swim baits and shit. Man's ripped off Fish Lab. Is that the BBC verbiage? Fish Lab has a very odd product line. Very odd. Oh, it is not sexy. They just have random stuff. Like it doesn't flow cohesively. It's not like one. It doesn't seem like it's like. Yeah, it's just random. I don't see a Fish Lab 1-. Let me go back and see old Clotilde. If it's not a scoping bait, you might as well not make it. Is that shit not over with yet? Are we just scratching the surface? I was I did feel like watching that Hackney episode with when he was fishing the NPFL and they interviewed Brad Fuller about the NPFL, and he was talking about him and Hackney talking on the phone, and he said, I'm thinking about banning forward facing, and Hackney said, if you do that, then I'll fish with you. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, man, I feel like the NPFL is going to do pretty good because they have what the other two organizations are lacking, and that is what seems to be a backbone. And the other two, unfortunately, just kind of are just throwing shit up against the wall, like they won't like stand for something. Like I don't care if they get rid of forward facing or not, just have an opinion that is yours and like. Every bait is a scope bait. I have some. I got to put. They're still on the website. They are scope baits, though. I just haven't. I don't think anybody's realized it yet. Because I photographed them wrong. They're supposed to have a swivel and a blade on them. And these were good before live scope. These. So I got these are the Cordell Super Shads. A lot of money went on these things back in the old days, pre-live scope. But it's supposed to have a blade on it, and I took pictures of them and forgot to put blades on it and swivels. But I'll do that now. Bassmasters come to the Tom. I do enjoy that. Even better, we're going to put a ball bearing swivel on these. I have seen the one they did. Is it the Michael Bradley? What's happening? AJ, is that the one that's got the weed guard, the titanium weed guard? If so, then yes, I have. I haven't tried one. I haven't tried one yet. Don't know that I will. Maybe though. I don't know. I really don't see that being a big seller for them though. Like the only reason I can see them having that is just because nobody else does. But I really don't see that being a SKU that flies off the shelf for Picasso. I mean, how many? You know what I mean? Like, has anybody on here bought one of those? Yeah. You own one, AJ? Did you get black and blue? Did you get Bruiser, the only color? I mean, if you want to get jacked about throwing a Snaggle Sally, just there's a tournament on I believe it's Toledo Bend, FLW maybe, and Steve Kennedy's in the back of the pocket with a black and yellow one, I believe, with a green and white port frog. Throwing it. I think he catches like a 3 or 4 pounder on it. But it catches them. I mean, it catches the shit out of them. No, I'm with you, Tyler. Tyler, have you thrown their inline? Their Sally? Mark Menendez had one. Scott Martin had one. I'm trying to think who else I saw throw a Sally on the Sabine. There was somebody else, I feel like. Definitely have seen Scott Martin throw it multiple times. But spectated Steve at Toledo one time, and dude was just spotlight sitting on his deck grabbing the line. How deep? Like you were out in the lake, or you were in his boat? If you were in that dude's boat, and I'd never heard the story, I'm kind of astonished. Does Cliff Pace push Picasso? The only guy I know is Lonnie Cochran, the guy up at Gunnersville. He used to be A-Mart, but no more A-Mart. So besides him, I don't know any. Like he was like their golden child. Did they really have Cliff on there? I think Picasso is a cool brand. I don't know if they're dicks or not. I think they make some very cool stuff, like aesthetically. And they also make some very practical stuff. Like I think they're a cool ass brand, um, but they don't have that anything that puts you in gear. They just make cool stuff, pretty cool, that I don't get excited about throwing. Like their high performance titanium spinnerbait is sexy as hell, dude. Am I gonna go buy one? Probably not, but they look sexy. Their InvisiWire spinnerbait looking sexy, but I never spring on any of it because there's not anybody, I guess, fishing it to like get excited about it. They have a smallmouth inline and they have an all-terrain inline. I think Lonnie Cochran helped them with this one too. They have a titanium weed guard, prevents hangups. Yamakatsu heavy cover flipping hook. Ultra soft silicone skirt. I have to take that off. Chip resistant Duraseal coating. Whatever the fuck that is. It's called powder coat. Okay. So the first thing I would do would be snatch that silicone skirt off. I don't like the head. I think the head's ugly. Quarter ounce. Whatever. I do think their titanium weed guards are cool. I think that's the coolest thing they've done in a while. He was between the Texas Islands and the mainland on a point, and I was in the boat run. And he was just set up, throwing a worm. Little Rich, what's up? Maybe that should be everybody's 2026 things to do. Catch a fish on a snagless Sally. Might surprise you. Might surprise how much you like fishing it. Give you some tips though. Throw it on braid. Because if you throw it on anything other than braid, you're gonna have a coily mess because they turn a lot. There's things you can do. You can bend up on the wire and put a little kink in it, and it'll level it out and make it run flat. But I don't really like doing that. I throw it on braid to keep the line twist down. Caught a nice one on a Sally with a Zoom chunk. That's what I'm talking about. The Sally is legit. Maybe you'd like to catch fish on a drop shot. I had another confession to my old buddy Josh Heron, and he was taken aback. He was talking about something about shad wraps, and I said, "I have a confession." And he said, "What's that?" I said, "I never caught a fish on a shad wrap." And he said, "What did you just say?" I said, "I've never caught a fish on a shad wrap." He said, "How?" I said, "Well, it all started when I was a very young man. And I saw Mark Davis catch him on a shad wrap at Lake Eufaula. And I went out and bought a number 5 shad wrap in the crawl color, whatever they want to call it, goldfish, crawl, carp, something. The golden, yellow, and orange one. And I bought it and took my Zell Roland Topwater Special All-Star with my 5500 Ambassador, and I tried to cast my shad wrap, and I got a big bird's nest, and it didn't go anywhere. Picked it out and tried to throw it again, and it didn't go anywhere. was like, how the hell am I supposed to throw this damn thing? And when I realized it was not a bait caster lure, it went into the box, never to be found again. Did I bring Sally's to Minnesota? How could I use a Sally though when there's so many frogfish? What's the preferred size? I like the weightless one. Let's see. Here's the Racco Sally's. So there's different weights of heads, like of the hooks. So some of the weight comes on the hook, and then some of the like this is a mega weight one. This one's really heavy. This is like the biggest one they make. So this one is weighted here on the shaft of the blade, but also it's got a big egg sinker on the hook. So this is probably a half ounce one. Oh, it might be more than that. It's 3/4. I like the ones that have no weight. That just have beads, like that one, and then has like a little 1/4 ounce. I don't even think it's a quarter because this isn't lead. It's another material. But it's tin, so it's lighter than lead. But yeah, I like as light as I can get. I like as light as I can get. This one has an interesting skirt. The vinyl skirt does matter though. I believe. I believe in the vinyl. Hard to get. Again, hard to find. You can use silicone, like flat silicone, but the vinyl, it doesn't mess up. Hildebrands buzzbait is good too. I think some people are making some custom bass spinners very similar to a Snaggle Center. They're being secretive about it too, which I don't really understand. It's a cold water deal. Man, down here it's a 12-month out of the year deal, but guys still throw them in the wintertime. The crazy thing about it is like you can throw it like in the dead of winter, cold as it gets, and you can get bites on that when they won't need a spinnerbait. It's weird, but it's also a big blade, like pushes a lot of water. Let's see. I'm looking for my hook box. Thanks. I lost one. I mean, my blade box. Yeah. So these are the best because the old days, the very old days, guys would have their Sally's custom made. They would call Hildebrandt before they were douched up by Yakima, and they were an actual decent company. And they would call and they would have their Sally's made in the light version with the number 5 Colorado. Saw that a lot down here. And now the biggest you can get is a 4.5, and that's on like the real heavy ones. So you can't get a light one with a big blade on it. But the juice that everybody loves is the inline with the number 5. And in order to do that, since they don't do custom orders anymore, you have to get the, I forget what they call this, but it's the one that you can put your own bait on. It's like a safety pin. You can get these with a 5. I don't know if you can anymore. You used to be able to, but, and this one doesn't have any weight on it. That's the one. I found these, and I don't know what the hell they are. I bought them though because they're cool. It looks like a little beetle bug. Yeah, the Indiana spinner. Yeah, I think that is what they call it. It's something that doesn't really make any sense, but you might still be able to buy those. That's what I prefer. And you could probably just run a weighted hook on it of some sort and it'd be fine. But like a weighted straight shank. I've dicked around with, I've made my own hooks. I've poured my own hooks with a I used a Zowire jungle hook, flipping hook, and I made a Sally hook mold, and I poured some of those. They were pretty good. Air scented plastics. That sounds fun. Tyler, that's because we only have 10 days of cold weather throughout the winter. That was really good at talking people into throwing his snagless sallies that he never threw. Yeah, they biting that snagless sallie real good. Really? Yeah. Better go get you some. Go up to Carl's. He's got them, black and yellow. Also, back in that day, which is interesting, it's one of the few. So, explain this. The snagless sallie to me is one of the very few spinner baits that the best colors are on the opposite end of regular spinnerbait colors. The best colors were always bruiser, black and yellow, yellow. Like nobody threw chartreuse and white. Nobody threw white a lot. Like they would, but not as much. Like it was all the dark colors, like the brown and yellow and orange one. That one was pretty decent. It was all the black ones. Like straight black, black and white was popular. I used to catch shit out of them on black and white. But when you would go like Sally shopping, you would not be like, "Ooh, where's the white one?" You know what I mean? Like, where's the one that's like shad looking, which was very odd. That they never kind of transitioned into making more spinnerbait kind of colors. Uh, they did have a Charlotte. I've got one of those. But even their chartreuse wasn't very chartreuse. Like it's just kind of yellow. I guess maybe this is because it's 100 years old. But Sally's cool. Cool bait. Shitty hook. Real shitty hook. I've been claiming that I'm going to make a better mousetrap out of the Sally, but those passion projects where it's not really worth the juice isn't worth the squeeze. My dad knew it was the deal at Amistad around the grass. A Sally? I would love to have seen an Amistad Snagless Sally grass bite. I could not imagine how nuts that would be. Yeah, I think everybody needs to own a Snagless Sally. I don't even know if you can buy them anymore. They need Jason Christie to come out with a signature Snagless Sally. Damn, a Snagless Sally is $10 now. What a ripoff. Yakima. They made a black nickel one that I caught the shit out of fish on. It was a black nickel blade with beads and wire with a bruiser skirt. That thing was the shit, dude. But yeah, like I'm looking at the quarter ounce, and it's got a number 3 blade on it. Nobody wants that shit. You at least want a 4.5 or a 4 even. This shit is weak, dude. A husky jerk connoisseur. That's one I never fell in love with. Oh. I'd never throw a Bumblebee Stanley, but definitely crush them on a Sally. Yeah, what's up with that? Like, why is that? Hello, Nasty Nate. I'm going, Frank. Happy New Year. Hope your ice gets back. What should I do with this thing? Questions. So maybe we should experiment with Sally colors more on our spinner baits. Black and yellow vinyl. It is a hunky, a little bitty one, with all the with everything shaved off of it. It used to have scales and eyes on it, and I shaved them all off. This is a different version. This one doesn't have a screw on the bottom. It's roughly the same size, but you can't unscrew the lip. It's glued in. Little variants. So nasty. Send them down. Send them down. I just got some traps from Jordan. Tis the season. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. I might just leave it and keep it. Paint this one since it looks nice. Maybe send it to the Messiah. Found some traps. I mean, some spooks. This one was a painted version, and I started chipping away at the paint, and it was completely chromed under it. And the chrome is like bulletproof. Like I was scratching it with a knife, and it wasn't even scratching the chrome. Like whatever they chrome this damn thing with is pretty impressive. I think I'm just going to stick some eyes on this damn thing and send it. Make it a 3-hook and keep it chrome. Oh yeah, the H&H with the double hook. That's a forgotten fish catcher. Kyle, you're also in the same kind of area as me where guys mainly fished for food. Like it was a volume game. You know what I mean? Where like the shit the guys like the old timers used, they weren't out there to like dick around. Like that shit was getting put on a stringer. That's what I'm saying. I think some eyes on here, maybe a gill plate, red gill, send it down the road. Polish this thing up. Polish this thing up. Dead fish to put meat in the deep freeze. That's right. So yeah, you could get you a H&H's back then. I guess you could still buy on you bought them on the card. You could buy you a card of H&H's. And those came in all those old school colors. The hook was cool too, like a free swinging hook. Cool concept. I remember I saw it iCast like a few years ago or something. The guy from H&H who started it, I guess he had sold off the company, but he still worked for him. He's like 150 years old, and he was still going to the shows, like hawking H&H stuff. Let's see what this guy looks like. How the F is the snackless still in production, but a guy can't get a T1? That's a great question. Great question. Still sold on the cards. Good for them. There you go. Pretty chromy. Pretty chromy. It's kind of see-through, which is cool. Looks like transparent chrome. Oh, what is it? 3:20. All right, I guess I got to get off here. I got to go home. See what the children's doing. See what the children's are doing. Has anybody heard from Jim Lichty? Do you know where Lichty is? Is he still kicking around? Clay, if you're ever down in Austin, there's that tackle store. Whatever it's called. Adios. What's the name of that tackle store? Jensen's. If you're ever down by Jensen's, swing in there. And the guy who started, the doctor guy that owned and operated Jensen's forever before he passed away, he sold a spinnerbait that was pretty compact, but I think it was half hair. It might have been all hair. I think it was half and half. I think it had like some sort of rubber skirt on it or silicone skirt or something, but it had hair tied on the hook. It was cool spinnerbait. I forget the name of it. Dirt bikes. That sounds fun. Yeah, swing in there. I mean, they got so much old shit in there, dude. You'll love it. You'll love it. I don't know if it's been picked over or not. It probably has, but just like they have, and it's an old school like place. You've probably seen it on Retro Bassin, but it doesn't really do it justice because you like behind the counter is just nothing but components like hooks, blades, swivels, beads, whatever, anything you'd want to make a bait, propellers, just like in little jars or boxes or whatever. But Jensen's, yeah, it's in North Austin. But they got a lot of shit. I thought I was after they sold me the salad. I mean the pork frogs. I was like, well, maybe they're in the mood to wheel and deal. And I was looking behind them, and they had like those like really high end Worth blades, like the gold ones. And this is when the gold blades had gotten like astronomically expensive, where they were like over, they're like $1.50, $2 a damn blade for the bigger ones. And I was eyeballing all their Worth blades. I was like, how much you want for those gold Worths? And I'm like, oh man, we'll have to get $1 a piece on those or something. Yeah, that's probably about what I'd pay anyway. I said, so y'all aren't completely naive to what this shit sells for. Do the new speed traps come in a storm box or still the old box with the stop sign? Saw some at the tackle shop and wasn't sure. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if they put them in a storm box. I don't think they've completely disbanded Lord Jensen. Oh, Kyle, that was the damn place I told him about, and he never even said thank you about it. That was in Bastrop. That was just a guy's house, this old dude. And I used to go there all the time. I found it when I was knocking doors selling TV. Because that was an area that I got put in, was in Bastrop, and I just drive around, and the dude had a sign outside that said like fishing stuff. So I pulled in his house. I didn't do any work that day, and yeah, the dude just had sheds and tables all out in his yard. And I knocked on his door, and I was like, "I look around at your stuff." He's like, "Yeah." He was smoking a cigarette in his house. I said, he said, "Just come get me if you need anything. I'll be in here." I said, "All right." So had the screen door open. He's in there burning his heaters, and I just went straight to the trailer, because that's where all the Planos were, and I start popping the tops on all these 3600s and pulling baits out, and I would love to go back and see what I missed. Like at the time, I didn't think I'd missed anything, but obviously I'd probably missed a bunch. But so I cleaned him out of what I thought was the good stuff, and then I went back, and I was on the hunt for something, worms, because I think it was right about the time maybe we were talking about moving home, like moving back here, and I started thinking, I was like, oh, I bet that old dipshit out in Bastrop, I bet he's got a bunch of old swimming worms, like gator tail ditto worms and shit. Sure enough, drive out there, and I said, knocked on his door. Said, "You still alive?" He said, "Yeah." "I want to look at your worms." So I went out there and looked at his worms, and I think it was something stupid, like 50 cents a bag or 20 cents a bag, something like that. 4 for $1 or some shit like that. But he had probably like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. He probably had 8 big stand-up, like fold-up tables, 2 rows, 4 or 5 tables. It might have been 10 tables. And there were 2 rows, and the tops of the tables were just all filled with soft plastics. On either side of the tables were tackle boxes. And it was so much shit, dude. There was boxes underneath with soft plastics. Like, it was an enormous amount of shit. Enormous. But it was just fun. Like, I loved it. I loved it, just going out there and digging around. Like, you could spend hours, or I could at least. I would just sit there and just dig. And then you find that one bag of something cool, and you're like, oh shit, this is badass. This is the last speed trap out I got. It has the stop sign, but it's this is a Rapala owned bait, dimpleless. So they made $250. That's a good price. I don't know where I got that from. But anyway, yeah, I sent Retro Bassin a message when he first started his channel, and I was still in Austin, and I said, "Hey, dude, I don't know how much longer this guy's going to be alive. I would recommend you go check him out." And I sent him the pin. Next thing I know, a couple months later, there's a damn YouTube video about it. He never messaged me back. Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. And I know nobody knew about that fucker. Like, it was very out of the way. The people in the back going, help, help. I'm like, did I hear something? Nah, too many bees. Too many bees to go through. I ain't got time for funny noises. I ain't got time for funny noises. That's funny. That is funny. But it's a good spot. That was a good spot. And he was out there towards like on the way to Fayette. My favorite lake out there. One bait you have never thrown? Nasty? I've told this story before. The only reason I've ever thrown a speed trap was because if you go back to the old Bassmasters and you go to the day on the lake with Aaron Martins, he was throwing the like chromy red one, and the water was like 45 degrees or something, or 48. And I remember thinking to myself, this guy's catching on a crankbait in 48-degree water. I got to get one of those. So, yeah. After reading that article, I said, I got to, if A-Mart throws the damn speed trap in the cold, then I will also throw the speed trap in the cold. Clay, A-Mart, was it that article, the day on the lake? BBC, it's on my bucket list. I haven't been to Bacon's. It's on the list, though. Elgin, oh yeah, I remember going to Elgin. Not much there. Yeah, it catches them. It catches them. I don't throw it as much as I probably should, but speed trap is legit. Good round of classic. Bomber Model A. I never got into the bombers. They were always too confusing to me. There was too many of them, and they were all called like A. Something A. I didn't like that. It confused me. Yeah, get you an old crystal crawl, throw it around. That's what those are. I'll see how many up there I've got. I found a box I was digging in not too long ago and just found like 5 of them in there. Well, it's good to have laying around. It wasn't crystal crawls like some other bullshit colors. It was somebody was asking about them. It was it was actually the ones that are pretty desirable. The ones with the holographic insert. They're clear. I don't know if I have a speed trap on the wall. The wall of shame. I'm looking. I don't think I did. Oh, I do have one. I have a little one. The little size. Went to Warts and Norman Deep Little Inn when I started figuring out fish bomber just sucked. Yeah, I didn't grow up on bomber. I threw some bomber shit later in life, but growing up, it wasn't part of the arsenal. The speed in is good. You know what my problem with the speed in is? It's ugly. Speed trap is sexy. and I think about A-Mart throwing it. It makes me feel good. Speed In doesn't make me feel sexy. Looks like shit. Yeah, it just it didn't check any boxes for me. I got the nostalgia of A-Mart in the magazine. The bait's cool looking, cool paint jobs. Makes me feel good. Speed In, suck it. Spro Speed Demons. Is that their was that their attempt at the speed crawl? I mean, the speed shed. Everything's speed. There's a speed everything. Bomber wasn't shit. That's a good point, Kyle. Until they became Excalibur. And then they were real cool. Spro Speed Demon. Let's look this thing up. Spro kind of annoys me. Talk about ugly as shit. Gross. I don't know what that thing's supposed to be. I don't know what the hell that thing's supposed to be. It's offensive for me to look at, though. I need a different profile. Do they have a different picture? Laundromat? MATTE? Is it like a flat ClearCoat? Holy shitballs, is that crystal crawl disgusting. Ugh. Ugh. Holy diarrhea, Batman. The Bass Mooch? I think the Bass Mooch one's supposed to be legit. I'm no connoisseur. I've caught them on the old speed traps. I've caught them on the newer ones. I'm not a cork sniffer when it comes to the speed traps. I just want them to look like a speed trap and be sexy. Not that damn Norman bullshit. Shallow diving cranks. The Square Boss. Kind of a decent looking paint job on that thing. What the? Let's see. The Bass Mooch looks like they just schemed all the SKUs from H2O and that Timmy Horton pyramid scheme brand. There it is. The Midge and the Midge S. Oh, they do have all the pyramid baits. The Big Boss, the Boss Hog, the Z Boss. I guess they bought the pyramid. Spro's paint is right where it needs to be. Shitty, so AJ can keep making them look nice. So the Midge is how big? It's 3/8. So they basically picked up the product line and made the bigger sizes that Lord Jensen never did. The Midge S is 3/8, dives 4 to 6 feet. and the regular midge. What's the difference? They both say they're 3/8. The midge, new design modifications to the size, bill, weight, and bait chamber that gets more bites. Shut up. A tried and true shallow water crankbait. The midge can be thrown around. Okay. Dives 4 to 6. It's 2.5 inches long, and it's 3/8 of an ounce. Okay. Now the midge S, is it silent? No. Oh, it is silent. Okay, so that's the only difference. Cup of traps. What would Beetlejuice throw? What would Beetlejuice throw? Couple worms. Couple worms. Couple baits. Baits. Lipless. Let's see what lipless they make. Shaker Z. Shaker Z Knock Knock. Shaker Z Mom. The heavy Shaker Z. So they only have the Shaker Z. Okay. Got it. What's their spinnerbaits look like? Lane. Original Doris Parsons 4-blade spinnerbait. Okay, cool. Jerk baits. Let's see what jerk baits I got. HC95. Pretty gross looking. All right. So there you go. Pete will throw a Guggen revolver. Jitterbug. We watched the new Beetlejuice, Amy and I, a couple nights ago. Not a huge fan. Not a huge fan of the new Beetlejuice. It was like all the other sequels they do. They just seem thoughtless and rushed and no plot development and just a money grab. A money grab. What blade did these originally have on them? It had a little Colorado blade on it, I believe. Cordell Super Shad. Yeah, it was a little Colorado. Little Michael Keaton, did you like him as Batman? Let's see if I can find some blades to put on these things. I don't really want to put number 3. Multiplicity. Oh, man. Look at these things. Mega Blade. I don't think I have any small enough. There's one. Just put some random stuff on there. These are all ugly. Like they're all beat to shit. They would probably work, but they're trashed. I can't sell them with some jacked up blade on there. I gotta find a nice blade. Here's a question for y'all. Do hammered blades make you feel sexy? They don't me. Strangely enough. They don't make me feel sexy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Clay, you might start getting chubbed up when you see this blade shape. Yeah, you recognize that. I'm the same way, Kyle. I think it's from H&H growing up. Like, I always looked at hammered blades and just thought they looked like cheap beetle spin blades. Oh, this would be sexy if I had them, but I don't have any little ones. They're probably scratched up. Oh, yeah, that would be real sexy. If I had this with the bleeder tail on the back, shit. Is that sexy or is that not sexy? Or does it just need to be this little guy? I think it just needs to be the little guy. The red does look kind of sexy though. It's probably a little big though. I don't know. It's kind of sexy. Hammered blade makes you feel like a walleye spinner. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Makes me feel like I'm just some pond scum from 1990 with my little H&H baits. My little cheapo H&H baits. Oh, there we go. Aha. Ew, who makes these? Blades. New Albany, Mississippi. Pew Tackle. These are perfect. Speaking of hammered. Look at this thing. It's like a damn stiletto. It would probably look sexy on here. Maybe not. I think we just need shiny. If they don't make you feel sexy, then we're not doing it. We're not doing it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Found them. I found them. There's a regular old little bitty willow. All right. Let's do this thing up and I'm going to get out of here because I want to see what these things look like. I have some that are painted white. See, that's like one of my favorite things in bass fishing is when there's like a regional thing that's real quirky and very like crazy cuckoo specific. Like, hey dude, if you're gonna go out there and you're gonna throw a spinnerbait, one of the sides of the willow or the Colorado needs to be white. Like, what? Like, yeah, you heard me. Then you go try it and you like hammer their ass and you're like, and you can't get bit on that damn thing anywhere else. Every time you go back, the old half whitey. That was like, I don't know. I used to seek out that kind of info when I was a young man. Still do. I love hearing about it. I love hearing about things like that. Things of that nature. Come on. Caught my biggest fish at the tourney like 5 times in the first 15 minutes on the white spinnerbait. How about that? There's a month or so here. What month? Jeremy, fill us all in. What month should we be throwing that? All right. Now these little fishies are complete. I need to retake my pictures now. Make a miniature red snag with Sally. Put them in anything. I do have a big one, like a big red Colorado. I bet that would smash them, Kyle. Now that you bring that up. March, April. Should have probably kept these blades for my own micro spinnerbait needs. Tension scopers. Oh, son of a bitch. I'm sitting here spinning this and it's not even going on. I don't know. Am I going to have to get glasses? Jeremy, we all do, bro. I don't think anybody fished enough this fall. I don't know what we were doing. But we were dicking around too much. So there you go. Completed. I'm not talking to you, lady.
Okay.
They look way better now with a tail on them. They look kind of fishy now. All right. Now we got some little fish catchers. Cool ass bait. All right. Scope shads. Ryan, back in the day, they got famous for in like the Highland lakes, like the Table Rocks and places like that that had deep timber in them. They would reel them through that stuff. It's kind of, I mean, it's like a Little George kind of thing, but the problem with the Little George is the Little George sinks like a rock, and those don't sink as fast, so you could float them through the trees and stuff because they wouldn't like just plummet. You could kind of feather them over the tops of trees. But yeah, that's kind of where it fits in, because rather than just being a chunk of lead, they just go straight to the bottom. It's a slower fall that you can feather. I'm sure there's other ways to do stuff with them, but like they work here or like up the river, like in the wintertime, or just like when the fish are out on the river on some of them little shallow bars and stuff, because they don't go straight to the bottom so fast, and some of that stuff so shallow that you can just kind of float it on the edge of those little sandbars and stuff. But At some point in my life, Jeremy, that will happen. That will happen. Because I fish one a lot. I don't talk about it though. One day we'll do a tell-all. And I'm very opinionated about them. And there's one color that works hands down better than any tail spinner color. Everything. Go figure. And it's been repeated for decades, and it never seems to change. I don't know why, but that's for another day. All right, boys. Good talking to everybody. Sorry I was a little MIA during the holidays, but we're back. Birthdays are over. Only got one more damn holiday. We'll get rid of New Year's and be able to do something. Be able to think straight. But y'all have a good weekend. Week, whatever it is. What is it, Sunday? Yeah. Y'all take it easy. We'll be good. See ya.